to another episode of the Smith Boy Podcast. Well, brother, I don't know what to say. I got the Lions hat on.
Look at you,
brother.
brother.
I'm all in.
Look at you. You are all in. Pushing your chips to the center of the table.
Jeez.
Going Lions.
What do you think you're doing? What have you done? Do you know what you just did? Huh?
I'm all in on the Lions.
Brother, what the heck did we just watch?
Probably the best Lions football game from an entertainment standpoint, just from a football standpoint, from a meeting standpoint, since 30 years.
It's a game that mattered.
Since 91 playoffs against Dallas.
A
A
game
game
that mattered.
really mattered. Playing the defending champs at NFL opener. The NFL won big time in this whole thing. 27 million people. Brother texts me, he goes, 27 million people watched that football game.
Yeah.
The highest rated show ever since Super Bowl 53.
Yeah.
So since February.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in seven months, that was the highest rated, most watched show of anything in 7 months since Super Bowl. And
27 million is a lot of
the
people.
Lions were there in prime time.
The Lions showed up.
Yeah, and the
They
Lions fans showed up. I heard there was like 14 to 16,000 Lions fans.
I
in
saw a lot
attendance.
of social media stuff where people were driving and flying to Kansas City for this game, Lions fans from the area.
And brother, I would say we got some crow to eat
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
because we spent.
I picked them. I picked KC 31-24.
I
You picked a
picked-
two-score game.
I picked KC 24-13. and-
Shows how much you know.
What have I done?
Well, I was at least closer in the score,
Yeah.
I guess. But,
Price is Right rules.
but both of us had Kansas City winning this game far and away.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
Making
Well, I think
it-
we made our selections before we knew Travis Kelce wasn't going to play too.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean,
I think we knew Chris Jones wasn't going to play.
Correct.
But
We banked on that.
Travis Kelce was like 2 days before
Yeah.
the game.
Right.
It was leaked that basically broke that he wasn't going to play.
Gone.
So, in the words of Mike Tirico, there's an asterisk next to that win for the
Oh
Lions.
God, I cannot believe that buffoon said that.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done.
He's a buffoon.
Oh, that's a buffoon comment.
Yeah, he's a pretty good play-by-play guy, though. Pretty good commentator. He's a Michigan guy.
I think
too.
you lose a lot of credibility with a comment like that in my book.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Why would you say that?
especially since he's a Michigan guy.
You
He's
got to
from
play
here.
the game. You got to play the game.
He's from here.
Yeah, it was so much love towards Kansas City. It almost made you want to puke.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get into as we talk about the game here a little bit, because the officiating was terrible, and
Horrendous.
it was almost clear. It was almost like it was clear that they did not want the Lions to win the game early on in that game
Dude,
for about the first three quarters.
He held Hutch 7 out of 10 dropbacks.
Juwan Taylor.
Yeah, he false started 8 out of 10 plays.
He wasn't even lined up on the line of scrimmage.
No.
And so you got to think that the Lions are relaying this to the officiating crew at some point, saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's going on here?" Like,
Right.
it was. I don't know.
It helped him in some ways because they began to tip off, okay, it's a pass play because he's lined up in the backfield. It's a run play because he's really on the line. But
So let's get
the
into
game
bro.
itself, brother.
Let's get into the game itself.
Yeah.
The Lions started out, looked like pretty sluggish. They went 3-0.
No, they went 3 and out.
Goff
To me,
looked pretty
they-
off that first drive, that first possession. Goff didn't look.
They looked
like,
a little rusty because they hadn't played anything in the preseason.
True.
I thought they looked a little rusty.
They shook it off pretty quick.
They shook
though.
it off quick.
Because
so
then-
they go 3 and out, I think, and then KC maybe picks up a first down, and then they
They
punt.
punt. The
And
Lions basically. Here's where shit gets starts to
Shit
happen.
gets real right now.
Here we go. Get your popcorn ready.
Well, what's the big thing?
Yeah, the Lions are basically
Facing
going
third and out.
Yeah, basically
3 and out.
going 3 and out from like their own 15-yard line, inside
Correct.
their own red zone, and then
Riverboat Dan Campbell shows up.
Big balls Dan Campbell decides to bring in a wheelbarrow.
Jalen Reeves Maben.
Dan Campbell decides to bring in a wheelbarrow to carry his grapefruits on.
Buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought into America.
as he's walking around the sideline and decides to fake a punt.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
On 4th and 2 from inside his own red zone.
Yeah, it was pretty wild
and
play.
It works out, and they get the first down and continue their drive. Now, we could talk about that a little bit. I think it worked out for them, but to me, that doesn't mean it was the right call. It was the right call to do, because if you don't get that, Kansas City scoring a touchdown.
I would say if it works out, it's definitely the right call. Even if it failed, it's not necessarily the wrong call, but it really puts you in a bind, you know what I mean?
Kansas City scores a touchdown.
Okay, but I would say that the Lions were they had to be accepting of that. If they would have to say, okay, if we don't get this, Kansas City's likely going to score a touchdown, but we're going to get the ball back. You know, they're probably going to score quick. You know, maybe we hold them to a field goal. But like Campbell's almost succeeding a touchdown right there. I thought, you know, like that mentality, you would have to say that's kind of what he's doing, right?
You have to say he's got to be thinking, if we don't get it, we're going to be down 7-0 here real quick.
Yeah. So, you know, he felt it's a long game.
He had confidence in his offense to get him back in it. So
yeah, I'll tell you right now, that boosted the confidence of every guy. Not only the players, but every guy on that sideline of the Lions. Getting that first down and then going down and scoring a touchdown.
They marched down the field, and then all the rust was gone after that.
You know, Gibbs was going to score on that, but the turf monster crept up and got him. But then I think it was the next player.
Oh, yeah, they got down and they ran into Gibbs, and he had a...
Oh, dude. He was gone.
Yeah, he was gone along the right side, and he tried to shake and bake and fell.
Yeah, and then the next play, I think it was a little pass play to
over the middle for a touchdown. Yeah, so the Lions are up 7-0. They shook the rust off after the first drive.
They looked really good, really crisp. I mean,
Goff looked good.
The offensive line protected him.
They kick off. Kansas City goes right back down, ties it up.
But here's the thing, though. It was like Mahomes did a lot of what Mahomes did on that drive. It was like, you know, third downs and shit, just making incredible runs. You know, doing little ball fakes like this and just running for 15, 17 yards. It was just, the guy is so good. So good. You know, and the problem is, from a Kansas City standpoint, is all his receivers suck. Guys couldn't catch COVID. You know, I mean, not having Kelsey really hurt them. And, you know, they've lost Mecole Hardman, you know, to the Jets now. And obviously not having Tyreek Hill. And Kadarius Toney sucks.
No, they did win a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. So.
I get it, but I'll say, okay, so then Kansas City goes down and scores. And the Lions get the ball back. They punt it. Kansas City.
A lot of punting back and forth.
A lot of punting back and forth for a couple drives there. Kansas City eventually does score.
Actually, you know what? There wasn't a lot of punting back and forth, because the Lions on that their third drive now, once Kansas City answered.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the Lions marched right back down the field.
Yeah,
and were about to score again. It was third and 10, I think, 3rd and 17, and then Gibbs had like a nice little pass catch. He picked up like 10 yards or something like that, and then it was 3rd and 10, and they threw a little screen pass out to Marvin Jones out on the sideline.
Yeah,
and Marvin Jones fumbled the ball at like the 10-yard line, and so they turned it over. So they were at least primed to get a field goal out of that. But Dan Campbell, who knows, he might have went for it. I don't know.
Yeah, but the play before that, though, they had the bad snap. It went off Brock Wright's hip, and so that put him in a really disadvantaged third down play.
Yeah.
And the play call, like, they like to do this little wide receiver bubble screen on these third downs. I didn't really get that.
I don't get it either, because you don't really have the talent out there to run those kind of plays. Like maybe Khalif Raymond is a guy that you would do that to, but they didn't. They chose like Marvin Jones and Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Those guys aren't. That's not really in their wheelhouse.
No.
So they fumble. Kansas City then goes. I think Kansas City punts. Lions punt. They trade punts back and forth for quite a bit there.
Yeah.
Until towards the end of the half, Kansas City goes down, scores touchdowns, 14-7 at the half. Now, the Lions did get the ball back with like under a minute left, with I think a couple timeouts left.
Right.
And they were trying to move the ball down the field and get in field goal range a little bit. And it kind of frustrated me that they didn't even decide to try a Hail Mary. Like there was 3 seconds left, and they had the ball like their own 45-yard line.
I thought that they felt Goff couldn't get it there.
Maybe not, but at least try it, or try something, or bring in your backup quarterback, bring in Bridgewater if he can throw it a little further, and try that. I mean, it doesn't have to be Goff that throws it. It just has to be someone that can get it that far.
Yeah.
But the fact that they just conceded and just threw it out of bounds, that kind of annoyed me, because it was like Dan Campbell's got these big balls to do all this stuff on 4th and 2 from his own 15-yard line, but don't have the balls to try to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the half. It's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
It kind of frustrated me.
I don't give a shit. because that's the way I play.
But I mean, whatever, it is what it is. Not a huge griping point of the game. So Lions are down 14-7 at the half, brother, and you're thinking, here we go. Kansas City scores at the half, and they get the ball at the half.
Right.
So Kansas City is very likely to come down, score again, and you're down 21-7, and it's over.
Yeah.
They come out, and I think the Lions stop them 3 and out.
Yeah.
And got the ball right back.
They stopped them 3 and out on that first
They
series.
traded punts back and forth for a couple possessions there, and then the highlight of the night, everybody's new favorite rookie, Brian Branch, picks off a ball that was kind of thrown behind Kadarius Toney a little bit.
He was really Johnny on the spot on that play.
Tony dropped it. He kind of hit his hands and it popped up in the air, and Branch was just happened to be right there, and Branch picked it off, ran it back for 6.
Yeah.
Touchdown, and we got a tie game, brother.
It's 14-14 at this point.
14-14, yep. Chiefs managed to go down, kick a couple field goals.
Yeah, it's 20-14 at this point, and I think there was what would you say,
12
minutes left in the game.
And the Lions are down.
Lions go on a 5-minute drive and get a touchdown, make it 21-20, and then it's
Kansas City got the ball back twice with 7 minutes
under
left.
7 minutes left.
Now you would think this is where I thought the Lions were going to piss it away and end up losing, because if Kansas City's down 1 and you're going to tell me there's 7 minutes left in the game and they're going to get the ball back twice within those 7 minutes, I would say for sure Mahomes is going to do something to help them win the game.
Wrong.
Right.
Didn't happen.
No, they held them. I mean, when they got the ball back at the 45-yard line, with 2 minutes something left, it was like, dude, all they got to go is 15 yards. Then that's Harrison Butker.
And then they started to get the penalties finally. The holding call, the false start call, which is what we kind of talked about when the video first started, was the false starts that weren't being called all game.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. Sorry, the
Taylor,
Michigan game's not playing for some reason.
On Taylor, and then the holding call finally they got called because Hutch was getting held pretty much most of the game.
Right.
On a lot of his pass rushes.
Right.
So they finally had a couple penalties that finally got called that cost Kansas City, put them behind the 8 ball. It ended up being 4th and 25, and they threw it down the field. And
now you could debate that 4th and 25. I mean, should they have done that? Should they have just punted the ball there? I mean, they didn't get the ball back after that. So
no, I think they did get it back one more time.
Oh, did they?
Shoot, I can't.
Was that the first? Was that? I can't remember.
I can't remember either now. So much was happening in that game. I know the Lions basically put the game away though when
they got the ball.
The Lions got the ball back the last time. I think they did get the ball back one more time and didn't do anything with it because the Lions got the ball back one more time. It was like right at the 2-minute warning, and the Lions ran the clock out.
Yeah.
So I think Kansas City had all 3 timeouts left with 2 minutes left, and the Lions got the ball back and picked up a first down with Montgomery, ran it 3 straight times. And Kansas City called timeout after each run, but they picked up the first down, and then Goff took knees and ran the clock out. It was it.
Right.
And I was shocked, brother. I kept waiting for the Lions to piss that game away, and it didn't happen, brother.
It did not happen.
They did what good teams do.
They closed it out. They were extremely resilient to me. Being on the road, down 14-7, in hostile territory against Mahomes, and then to grit that out. Perseverance and resilience. It was gritty. It was a grit win, brother. Huge props to Dan Campbell. He's got good people around him. There's no question. Good coordinators in Glenn and Johnson. I think Mahomes is the perfect guy right now. He hit on Campbell, Branch, Laporta, and Gibbs so far.
Mahomes is the perfect guy.
Holmes.
Oh, Holmes.
Yeah, Brad Holmes. Sorry. But you hit on 4 guys right there, in this draft, all in the first 2 rounds.
Well, he hit on St. Brown.
Yes, he hit on St. Brown.
Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell was a great pick.
Kirby Joseph.
Although
Joseph
he did not play.
No, he didn't play that well.
Yeah. But he made good additions to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Sutton was pretty good. Hutch, he drafted Hutch too. Hutch is a great pick.
Because he could have went Kayvon Thibodeau there and didn't. He went Hutch over Thibodeau.
Right.
Which there was a lot of
debate. A lot of debate on that.
And it looks like he made the right choice.
Yeah.
I mean, Hutch is the better out of the 3. There was the Trayvon Walker too that Jacksonville took 1 overall.
Yeah. The one pick that you could criticize him for is J-Mo.
Yeah.
That's the pick that you're going to look back and say, what the hell? But they seem to be built to me for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to have their ducks
Problem is
in a
going to
row.
come with what you're going to do with Goff.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? Because
That's
like
the
this is
issue.
the last year, is it?
Because
not?
you're gonna have to decide, because you can't pay him and then pay St. Brown and pay Penei Sewell and pay Hutchinson. I mean, those 4 guys are going to be getting huge contracts.
Well, you just saw what one of the Bosa guys got.
Yeah. The highest paid Nick Bosa, the highest paid
Yeah.
defensive player
What
of all
was the
time.
contract?
It's something ridiculous.
It's
just huge.
I knew it was huge. They said it was the largest of all time, but I was like, I don't even care. But I mean, he's going to get that kind of money. You know, in about 4 years, he's going to get that kind of money.
And Sewell will probably become like the highest paid tackle in the league.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the league.
St. Brown's going to be up for a big contract.
Yep.
If Kirby Joseph keeps playing well, he'll be up for a nice sized contract.
Correct.
You know, they got a lot of guys. That's kind of one of the problems you end up getting if you do end up drafting well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys turn out to be pretty good, and you got to end up paying them. You know,
Yes,
Ragnow's
yeah.
going to be up for another contract at some point.
Yeah,
Goff's up for a contract.
Ragnow's getting a little longer in the tooth too. I mean, he's had some turf toe issues for probably 3 years now, but I still think you're set up pretty good.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know? I mean, is he the best center in the league? He's top 2 or 3.
Probably when he's healthy.
Yeah,
So-
Sewell is top 2 or 3, you know, in the league, and Taylor Decker's probably top 10. You know, so they got good offensive line. But yeah, I totally impressed. I'm still reserving my bandwagon, you know, ticket for a couple more games.
Yeah, because the
I'm not
expectations. to me-
going crazy here.
Expectations change at this point now, because our expectations were they were going to lose this game and lose it handedly, and they didn't. You know, if you won it or you looked competitive in it, then it was like, okay, then I expect you to beat Seattle and beat Atlanta. And now the expectations are definitely changed to the point where now, yeah, I definitely expect you to beat Seattle and beat Atlanta. I expect them to start 3-0.
Yeah.
And be looking at going into Lambeau and starting 4-0. But I will reserve my expectations of beating Green Bay after we watch Green Bay play a few games, so we can see what they're doing.
Well, it'll be really interesting tomorrow because it's Green Bay and Chicago. They play. So everybody's gonna be tuning into that game around in this area, just to see Jordan Love, to see what Fields and the Bears look like. So that's gonna be a really interesting game to watch, you know, from a Lions fan standpoint. So, well, props to the Lions, brother. Incredible win. This town's gonna be on freaking fire. You can feel it in the air. I was walking around the farmers market, the Holly Days today. And let me tell you, dude, I probably saw half a dozen people wearing Lions shit.
Yeah, it was that game against Seattle next week will be like the hottest ticket in a long time. That stadium is going to blow the roof off that.
It's gonna be
place.
hype, man.
It's going to be so loud. It's going to be
hyped.
fun to watch just
Yep.
for the crowd.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm been to the point where I'm actually looking forward to like seeing
Watching the Lions play.
Lions games, brother. I mean,
Yeah, they're entertaining. I tell you what, dude, they are entertaining. That was one hell of a football game. It was great to watch.
we always grew up looking forward to like, all right, how are the Lions going
Gonna F this up.
How fun is it going to be to watch what stupid things the Lions do?
Yeah, what are the Lions going to do to F this up?
Yeah, and then now it's
Now it's
turning
like,
into
what are the Lions going to do to, like, you know, win this game?
Yeah, we're watching a real football team.
Yeah, we're
now.
watching real football.
It's weird,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it goes. So we'll do another pod when it gets closer to. I mean, we got 10 days here.
We'll do a little Seattle
game.
preview.
Yeah, and discuss what the keys to the game for that, our predictions, what we
Right,
expect. So,
for sure.
Until then, Smith Boys out.
See you.
Yeah, heading home.